If you can make one cut and drive one screw, then you can build this exact floating shelf today. Now I'm using a miter saw and a nail gun, but if all you have is a circular saw or even a mini circular saw and a drill, it still works. All you need are literally two tools, something to cut with and something to join with. And these hold real weight, but there is one thing that you have to get right for that, and I'll show you what that is when we hang them up. My goal here is to demystify DIY by showing you the why behind the how. So if you've ever felt intimidated by woodworking or power tools, you are in the right place. I will add a link to the recommended tools and supplies in the description below, but also you should be able to see them pop up underneath as I am talking about them. And if you are watching it on TV, there would be a little QR code that would pop up somewhere on the screen. I'm not exactly sure where it pops up, but you can scan that and go right to the product to check it out. This is the easiest floating shelf you're going to see on YouTube. So grab whatever your cutting tool is and let's get building. I am using 1x6 and 1x3 boards for building these shelves, and I went with poplar because it had the kind of grain that I was going for, especially because I am trying to match the shelves to the bathroom vanity. And like I mentioned before, I am using a miter saw, but you totally don't need to use a miter saw. You can use a circular saw, a mini circular saw, or you can even use a miter box. And if you are new to all of these saws, I have detailed tutorials for each of them, and I will link them in the description below. But no matter what saw you use, remember to pay attention to the curve of the blade. And if you want to learn more about that, I have details on that as well. I am building two shelves that are 15 inches long each, so I cut both my 1x6s and my 1x2s into two sets of 15-inch long boards. And now comes the fun part, the sanding. And no matter how tedious it is really one of the most important steps in any project, because the final end result greatly depends on how you sand. Because once you stain it, you're going to see every little scratch on there. So make sure to sand it down step by step, going through each of the grids. My boards weren't very rough to start with, so I started with 120 grit, and then I went on to 180 grids and then 220 grids. And of course, I have a detailed tutorial on how to get the best results when sanding. Now let's put it together. And remember, I promise you, this is going to be absolutely ridiculously straightforward to put together, because all you need to do is glue the two boards. Obviously, make sure that you use a nice amount of wood glue, because really the wood glue does most of the work here in holding the boards together. And once everything is aligned, I added in some brad nails. And any of that wood glue seeping out that you see, you want to make sure to wipe it all away really well right away, because that is otherwise going to interfere when we stain the project. For added strength, I also added some countersunk wood screws. Now, if you don't have a nail gun, you can go directly to the screws. I just liked using the nail gun to keep the boards aligned so that it's a lot easier to add the screws in. Of course, make sure to pre-drill before adding in the screws and use countersunk screws. Countersunk screws are when the screw head sits just below the surface of the board so that they are not sticking out of the board. So I want to take a quick moment to ask you a question. Be honest with me. How many DIY videos have you watched this week? Because I get so many messages along the lines of, Anika, I have watched every single one of your videos to help me get inspired and finally get the confidence to use my saw. But here's the truth. You cannot watch your way into confidence. You cannot motivate yourself into a skill. The only way to stop being intimidated by tools is to actually turn them on. And the only way to learn how to build is to actually build. You don't need any more information or any more videos or theories. What you need is a tool in your hand and some sawdust on your floor. And that is exactly why I created the Fearless Woodworker. It is not a dry series of lectures. It is a project-based journey where each build is a stepping stone. We start simple with just a saw and a drill and I show you all of the basics so you get confident with the basics. I incrementally add new tools into your arsenal as your confidence grows. And by the time you're done, you'll be confident using a table saw, a router, and so much more. You aren't just watching tutorials. You are mastering woodworking 101 through action. But here's the thing. I know it's not just the fear of tools that's holding you back. It's the fear that, what if I get stuck? Who do I turn to? Who do I ask questions? And this is why in this program, you are not doing it alone. I have a 24/7 community group where you can share your progress and get help whenever you need. Plus, I host live monthly Q&A calls where you can come, ask your questions, get unstuck, and it also keeps you accountable. And the best part, my favorite part, is we create a community. We make friends, we hang out, we talk woodworking. I am going to be with you every step of the way in this program, making sure that you keep moving forward. And by the end of the program, you're going to walk away with not just 5 amazing projects that you just built, but you're going to walk away with a lifetime of skills. You wouldn't have watched a woodworker, you would have become the woodworker. And you will finally be the person that will look at something and say, oh yeah, I can build that. So if you're ready to stop watching from the sidelines and start building, join the Fearless Woodworker. It is the program and community I wish existed when I was starting out. Let's get you in the shop and get those tools running, because I cannot wait to see all the amazing things you build. Next, I tested out a whole bunch of stain colors to find the best match for my vanity, and it was not easy, but I did. And it ended up being a combination of 3 stains applied in a very particular sequence, and I will share that in just a little bit. But first, let's get it prepped for stain, and using pre-stain conditioner is extremely important, especially on poplar, really on all woods. It's extremely important so that you get a nice even stain absorption. Once the pre-stain conditioner dried, I sanded off all of the raised grain using 220 grit and this hand sanding block or a mouse, which really works wonders. I especially like how it gets into those right angled tight corners as well. Now for the stain, the sequence was applying oak gray, followed by American walnut, followed by fruit wood. And it had to be applied in this exact order for me to get the stain color that I wanted. And once all the stain was dry, I applied a top coat, and I will link the top coat that I applied in the description below. Now let's put it on the wall. The key to having really strong shelves on the wall is to hit at least 1 stud and to use really good quality anchors. I found the stud and marked exactly where the shelf would sit. Then I marked the location of the stud onto my shelf, and I also marked the other spot for the second screw where I would add the anchor. Essentially, I made sure it was the same distance from the edge as the stud. Then I drilled through the wood and into the wall. And I made sure to adjust the shelf to make sure it's level, and then I pre-drilled the hole for the second screw into the wall as well. And now I know exactly where the 2 screws are going to go. And then I added in the drywall anchor. Now to attach the shelf, I found it easiest to start the screw into the shelf and then align the screw with the anchor and then just drive it in. Of course, you want to make sure that everything is level before tightening all the way. And then I added the screw into the stud as well. Now you want to make sure that all of these screws are countersunk so that they're not butting out. But yes, the screw head is visible, but the decor on the shelf will cover it up. And I am totally okay with it for the simplicity of the project and how easy and quick it was to put together. And it's just a bathroom. And if you're ready to tackle another quick, simple project, be sure to check this video right now, and I will see you there.